It is 11 o'clock at night. The house is finally quiet. You are lying in bed, drifting off, and then you hear it. Thump, thump, thump. Your dog is scratching at their ear. Then comes the sound every pet parent knows by heart. The violent head shake, the flapping ears slapping against their skull, over and over again. And then you smell it. That warm, sour, sweet, almost yeasty odor drifting up from their head. Some people describe it as old cheese. Some say it smells like bread dough. Some say it smells like a dirty sock left in a gym bag for a week. I need you to hear me right now. That smell is not just dog smell. That smell is a specific, identifiable living organism, and it is telling you exactly what is wrong with your dog. And once you know what it is, it can be gone, completely gone, in about 4 days. I know exactly how exhausted you are. I know you have already been to the vet. I know you have already spent $60, $80, maybe $200 on a tiny bottle of medicated eardrops, and I know that it worked for a week or two, and then the moment the bottle ran out, the smell came creeping right back, stronger than before. You are not imagining that, and it is not your fault. But what if I told you that the smell in your dog's ear is not really an ear problem at all? What if I told you that you have been treating a symptom this entire time, and the actual cause is sitting inside your dog's food bowl right now? If you saw the thumbnail of this video, you saw the promise. Today I am going to show you exactly what that smell means, how to eliminate it in 4 days using things that are almost certainly already in your kitchen, and how to make absolutely sure it never, ever comes back. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I am your neighborhood veterinarian, and in my clinic, ear infections are one of the top 3 reasons a dog walks through my door. And here's the part that breaks my heart. Most of those dogs are repeat visitors. The same dog, the same ear, 3 or 4 times a year, for years on end. We hand out drops. The drops work. The drops run out. The dog comes back. That is not medicine. That is a subscription. Now, before we go a single step further, I want you to drop the guilt at the door. If you have been faithfully cleaning your dog's ears and the smell keeps coming back anyway, that does not make you a bad pet parent. It means nobody ever explained the root cause to you. Today that changes. Grab a notebook, because we are doing a complete masterclass. In part 1, we are going to smell the ear and identify exactly what is growing inside it, because there are 2 completely different infections and treating the wrong one makes it dramatically worse. In part 2, I will give you my 4-day protocol to kill it and stop the itching tonight. And in part 3, the most important part of this entire video, I'm going to show you how to shut off the fuel supply so that it never returns. If this is already making sense to you, do me one quick favor and hit that subscribe button and tap the little notification bell right beside it. I release these deep dives every single week, and I would hate for you to miss the next one. Let's begin with part 1, and I want you to actually do this with me right now. Go get your dog. Gently lift the flap of their ear, lean in, and take a real breath. Now, does it smell sweet? Sour? A little like corn chips, or bread dough, or an open bottle of beer? If your answer is yes, your dog does not have a bacterial infection. Your dog has yeast. The specific yeast is called Malassezia, and it lives naturally in tiny harmless amounts on every single healthy dog on this planet. It only becomes a problem when it overgrows. And when it overgrows, it ferments, and it produces that unmistakable sweet, musty, yeasty smell. Look inside the ear. You will almost always see a dark brown, waxy, coffee ground-looking debris coating the canal. But there is a second possibility, and this is where people get into serious trouble. If instead of sweet, the smell is genuinely foul, rotten, putrid, the kind of smell that makes you physically recoil and turn your head away. And if you look inside and see yellow or green discharge, or actual pus, or if the ear is hot to the touch and your dog yelps or pulls away when you touch it, stop. That is a bacterial infection, and it may have already ruptured the eardrum. Do not put anything in that ear. Do not use vinegar. Do not use oil. Do not use water. Close this video, call your veterinarian, and go in today. Certain cleaning solutions can cause permanent deafness if the eardrum is perforated. I would rather lose your view than have you hurt your dog. Still with me? Good. That means we are dealing with yeast, and yeast is exactly what we know how to beat. So why is the yeast there in the first place? Yeast thrives in 3 specific conditions: warmth, moisture, and darkness. Now think about the anatomy of a dog's ear. Unlike ours, which is a short, straight, open tube, a dog's ear canal is shaped like the letter L. It travels straight down, and then it makes a sharp turn inward toward the eardrum. Air cannot circulate through a bend like that. It is a warm, humid, sealed cave. Now add a big floppy ear that lies flat over the opening, like a lid on a pot, and you have built a perfect greenhouse. This is why Cocker Spaniels, Basset Hounds, Golden Retrievers, Labradors, Doodles, and Cavaliers practically live in my exam room. But here is the question that almost nobody stops to ask. Every single floppy-eared dog on Earth has that exact same anatomy. So why is your dog's ear a swamp while your neighbor's dog is perfectly fine? The answer is not in the ear. Yeast is a living organism, and like every living organism, it has to eat to survive. Do you know what yeast eats? Sugar. And I can already hear you saying it. But I don't feed my dog sugar. I feed premium kibble. Here is the veterinary nutrition secret that nobody tells you. In order to manufacture a dry, crunchy pellet that stays shelf-stable for 18 months, a pet food company has to use starch as a binding agent. Corn, wheat, rice, potato, peas, tapioca. And before you say it, even grain-free kibble is absolutely loaded with legumes and potato starch. The moment your dog swallows that starch, their body immediately breaks it down into glucose, into sugar. So every single morning, without ever intending to, you are pouring a bowl of sugar into your dog's body. The yeast living in their gut feasts on it. It multiplies out of control. It floods into the bloodstream, and the body desperately tries to push it out through its exits, through the skin, through the paws, and above all, through the ears. And when the gut becomes this unbalanced, the lining of the intestines actually becomes inflamed and porous. We call this leaky gut. Microscopic toxins and yeast spores leak straight through into the blood. The immune system panics. Inflammation goes systemic, and your dog's ear canal fills up with brown, sweet-smelling sludge. The smell in your dog's ear is not an ear disease. It is a gut disease that happens to be leaking out through the ear, which means that every single bottle of drops you have ever bought was nothing more than a piece of black tape stuck over a check engine light. The dashboard goes dark. The engine is still broken. Let me tell you about a real case. A woman brought me a 4-year-old golden doodle. She had been to 3 different vets in 18 months. Every visit, she went home with drops. She was near tears in my exam room, telling me she felt like she was failing him. I took a small swab of that brown wax, smeared it on a slide, and put it under the microscope. Then I turned the screen around so she could see it herself. It was not an allergy. It was a solid carpet of yeast cells, thousands of them, packed shoulder to shoulder. And then I asked her one question that nobody had asked her in a year and a half. "What are you feeding him?" She told me. The first ingredient on that bag was corn. We did not change his drops, we changed his bowl. And I never saw that ear again. Now, part 2. Let's put out the fire because your dog is miserable tonight and I'm not going to make them wait 4 weeks for a diet change to take effect. This is my 4-day protocol and I want you to follow it exactly. Day 1 begins with the flush. Yeast simply cannot survive in an acidic environment, so we are going to change the pH of the entire ear canal. Go into your kitchen and get raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, the cloudy kind, the kind that says "with the mother" printed on the label. In a small cup, mix 1 part apple cider vinegar with 2 parts warm water. Never, ever use it straight. Now, a serious warning from me to you. Look inside that ear one more time. If the skin in there is raw, scabbed, cracked, or bleeding from scratching, do not use vinegar. Vinegar is an acid, and it will sting like fire on broken tissue. Only ever use this on intact, smelly, waxy skin. Soak a cotton ball. Never a cotton swab, never anything with a stick, never anything you push down into that canal, until it is fully saturated but not dripping. Lift the ear flap. Gently place the cotton ball just inside the opening, and squeeze it, letting the solution run down into the canal. Now take the base of the ear, right where it meets the skull, and massage it firmly for 30 full seconds. You should hear a wet, squelching, sloshing sound. That sound is the solution breaking apart hardened wax and debris deep down in the bend of that L-shaped canal, in the place your finger could never reach. Then step back and let your dog shake their head. Let them shake as violently as they want, because that shake is what brings all of that loosened gunk up and out to the surface. Then take a fresh cotton ball, or a piece of medical gauze wrapped around your index finger, and wipe out only what you can actually see and easily reach. Never dig, never probe. Do this once in the morning and once in the evening. And now the step that almost everybody skips, and it is the single reason their infection always comes roaring back. You must dry that ear completely. Yeast loves moisture. If you flush an ear and then walk away, you have not treated a garden. You have just watered it. Take a soft, dry cotton pad and gently blot the opening of the canal. And if your dog will tolerate it, a hair dryer on the cool setting, held well back and waved gently across the ear for 30 seconds, is an absolute game changer. A dry ear is a dead ear for yeast. By day 2, you should already be able to smell a difference. By day 3, that dark coffee ground wax should be lifting out lighter, thinner, and paler. And by day 4, in most mild to moderate cases, the smell is simply gone. and your dog sleeps through an entire night without a single head shake. If we are on the same page so far, please hit that like button. It genuinely helps this video reach more pet parents who are lying awake tonight listening to that exact same thumping sound. Now, while we are cleaning the outside, we have to soothe the inside of that canal because it is inflamed, hot, and raw. This is where organic, cold-pressed, unrefined coconut oil comes in. Coconut oil is packed with lauric acid, which is a genuinely powerful natural antifungal and antibacterial compound. On the evening of day 2, after the ear has been flushed and completely dried, melt a small amount of coconut oil between your fingers until it is liquid but not hot. Drip a few drops down into the canal and massage the base of the ear again for 30 seconds. It coats the inflamed skin, it soothes the burning, and it leaves behind a surface that yeast cannot colonize. And if your dog shakes it out and licks it up, that is perfectly fine. It is highly nutritious for them. And here's one more piece of relief that costs almost nothing. If your dog has been scratching so hard that the outside of the ear flap is red, hot, and angry, take a plain chamomile tea bag, brew it, and then let it cool completely, room temperature, or even chilled in the fridge. Never hot. Heat draws blood to the surface of the skin and makes inflammation 10 times worse. Dip a clean cloth into that cool chamomile and hold it gently against the outside of the ear for a few minutes. Chamomile is naturally calming to irritated tissue, and you will physically watch your dog's shoulders drop and relax. Now, part 3. The permanent cure. Because if all we ever do is flush the ear, we are just mopping the floor while the faucet is still running. We have to starve the yeast. Go look at your dog's food bag right now. If the first or second ingredient is corn, wheat, soy, or potato, that is your faucet. Now, you do not necessarily need a $100 a month fresh diet, but you do need to move toward a food where a real, named meat is the very first ingredient, and you need to bring that starch load down. Even swapping out a portion of the kibble for a fresh, low-carb topper starves the yeast of its fuel supply. When the sugar disappears, the yeast has nothing left to eat, and the colony collapses from the inside out. Then we rebuild the army. Right now, the bad yeast is winning the war inside your dog's gut, so we are going to send in reinforcements. Add a spoonful of plain, unsweetened milk kefir, or plain unsweetened yogurt, right into their bowl. Kefir is a fermented milk drink absolutely loaded with millions of live probiotics, and it lays down a thick protective layer of good bacteria that crowds the bad yeast out. But please hear this warning, because it is life or death. If you go buy yogurt or kefir, you must flip that container over and read the ingredients on the back. You are looking for one deadly word, xylitol. Sometimes it is renamed on the label as birch sugar. It is an artificial sweetener used in many sugar-free and so-called diet products, and even a microscopic amount will cause a dog's liver to fail. It must be 100% plain, unsweetened, and unflavored. Nothing else will do. And if you want to go one level deeper, look for a pet probiotic that contains Saccharomyces boulardii. This is a beneficial yeast, a good yeast, and it works by aggressively crowding out and killing the bad itchy yeast, and by sealing that leaky gut lining back up. It takes roughly 3 to 4 weeks for the gut to fully heal, but once it does, your dog's defenses become an impenetrable fortress. Finally, we build the barrier itself. The lining of the ear canal is skin, and skin cells are built out of fat. If your dog is eating dry kibble from a bag that has been sitting open in your pantry for a month, the healthy fats in that food have already oxidized and died. So we add omega-3 fatty acids. My cheapest favorite is a can of sardines packed in pure water with absolutely no added salt. Mash one up into their food twice a week. That is a massive, powerful dose of anti-inflammatory omega-3s, and it rebuilds a strong, resilient skin barrier that yeast can no longer break through. We have covered an enormous amount today. Apple cider vinegar, coconut oil, chamomile, kefir, sardines, probiotics. And I can already feel some of you getting overwhelmed, wondering how on earth you're going to fit all of this into your life. So here is the golden rule. Do not do all of it at once. If you dump 5 new rich ingredients into your dog's bowl tonight, I promise you will be cleaning up diarrhea at 3 in the morning. Here's your actual plan. This week you do exactly 2 things. You do the apple cider vinegar flush, morning and evening, and you dry that ear completely afterward. That is it. That is your 4 days. Then starting next week, you add exactly 1 gut helper to their bowl. 1 single spoonful of plain kefir once a day. That is all. Just those 2 moves and you will have done more for your dog's ears than 4 years of drops ever did. If you're going to try this, hit subscribe and turn on that notification bell, because in my next video I am breaking down the exact ingredients I want you to avoid on a dog food label. And now, the hard truth I owe you, because I respect your trust far too much to pretend. These remedies are magic for yeast. They are magic for that sweet, musty, waxy, brown debris ear. But they are not magic for everything. If after 4 days there is no improvement at all, if your dog is tilting their head to one side and holding it there, if they are walking in circles, stumbling, or their eyes are flicking rapidly back and forth, if you see blood or pus, or you smell something genuinely rotten, or if that ear is so painful that they cry out when you come near it, then this has moved beyond the outer canal, and no kitchen ingredient on this earth is going to fix it. That needs a veterinarian. Today. And there's absolutely no shame in that. Go get the professional treatment, get them back to a clean slate, and then come right back and use everything I taught you today to make certain it never returns. Your dog cannot tell you that their ear is burning. They cannot tell you that they have not truly slept in 6 months. All they can do is shake their head and scratch and hope that somebody finally figures it out. Today, you did. By sitting here and learning why, instead of just reaching for another bottle, you are doing what most people never do. You are not treating a symptom anymore. You are healing your best friend. If this video gave you hope today, please hit that like button and hit subscribe with the notification bell, so this can reach the next exhausted pet parent lying awake right now, listening to that thumping in the dark. Now go lift that ear, take a breath, and tell me down in the comments. Is it sweet and musty, or is it something worse? And which one of these are you starting with tonight? Give your sweet dog a gentle scratch behind the ears for me, and always trust your instincts. Nobody on this earth knows your dog better than you do.